So in this video, we're going to look at cutting a job with registration marks on our JWEI JCut Cutter. So first of all, I have my job here. Now it's got 6mm registration marks, which are printed around my job. Now these registration marks can be anywhere. Now obviously on a job this small, just 4 around there is absolutely fine. But we would want more on a bigger job. So we would fill in the centres, maybe about every sort of 350 to 400mm. So that's our job ready to go. So the next thing I need to do is go into JWCam and sort out my settings in here. So I've already reset, I've already done my tool depth, but I do need to go to my suction window and I need to ensure that my suction zones are correct. Now at the moment, I've got all 3 open on the front where my job is just in position 1. So I need to shut 3 and 2, and that's now correct. Now I can go back into operation window. I now do not need to do anything in terms of temporary origins or anything like that because we're going to be using registration marks. So the next thing I need to do is go into OptiScout. I now need to find this file. So go to File Import. And then I'm going to go to my test files and I've got my guitar sample. So there's my cut file. I'm going to press open. Now, the very first thing I always identify is whether I've got these. Now, this is a circle with a cross through the middle of it, and that's where my registration mark should be. Now, the circle with the cross through it means that it is actually a video mark or a registration mark, and it is going to use that to identify where the job is. If it's just a circle without the cross through it, that means it is just a circle and it's going to cut it. So the next thing I need to do is change the orientation of this job. Now, on this one, all I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out by scrolling out on my mouse and then going to go up to the top where I've got my rotation or flip axis, and I'm going to rotate it until it is in the right direction. So that looks good. Now I need to zero it. So I can either click and drag from the middle, or I can go up to the top and I can put 0 and then 0 and then enter. So it's now zeroed because it's in this section here. So the next thing I need to do is set my job up. Now this is on Invercoat, and there you can see I've got now a reg mark layer and I've got a cut layer. Now that is correct, but I'm not going to cut it like that because I'm actually just going to use the laser pointer to demonstrate. So to do that, I'm going to just go to where it says Invercoat, click on the drop down, go not defined. That now means that we're manually setting these layers up. So if I go then to my cut layer and click where it says default, I can choose any of the tools that are available on this machine. So I'm going to use pointer. If I go into the grey box, that then gives me the settings, to which I only have 1, so I don't need to change anything. Press OK. And that's it. So now all I need to do is output to device. So output to device there. That then opens up our output settings. Now most of these are going to be left as they are. The only thing that we have on this one is that we're on roll at the moment, so I'm going to change it to standard. Standard means that when we have sheets like this, the next job is going to be me putting the next one on, and it's not going to be advancing it from behind. So I'm happy that that's all good. I haven't put any copies in there. I haven't done anything else. The other thing we need to check though is our compensation method. So just here it says just best fit. Now we need to make sure that we only use best fit smart comp or fit to job smart comp. Now that means that you're going to get better alignment with your registration marks. So I'm going to go best fit. So now I'm going to press output. Now what's going to happen is that the head is going to fire to the front, just like that. Then I can use my keys on here and I can then move the head around, and you'll see on screen, there we go. So I can see that I've got a registration mark here and it's highlighted in red. So if I press enter now on my keyboard, that's going to go straight to that and it's going to find the rest of the registration marks. Now if it doesn't find the rest of the registration marks, it normally means that the job is rotated off or that basically it's the wrong file. So now it's cutting that file using my laser pointer. And that's all done. Now, if I wanted to do multiple of those, let's say I have a stack of 100 of those and we want to do one at a time. The way I'd do that one is I'd go to output to device again. Then I'd go to where it says number of copies, and I'd say that my amount is, let's go for 3. And then I'm going to leave the number of output in the Y and the X direction as 1, and that's it. So then I just press output. Now, because we've already cut this job, it's now going to go straight to that first registration mark. And because it's in the same place, it's just going to pick it up and start going. So because we're now on a multiple copy, on my screen it says preparing job 1 of 3. So it gives us a live update of what job we're actually on as well. So it's done the first one. It then says replace media and press OK to continue. So I'm going to press the OK button. Now, again, if I'd moved this out of the way, we'd then try and put it somewhere near the same point again, and then it will do what it's just done, which it will automatically find it. Now, if it doesn't find it, it will bring the camera box back up here and it will ask you to find the first reg mark, just like normal. So let's say I move this one now and take it off the table, but we move it up there a little bit, so it's now out of the way of where it was before. I'm going to press OK. So now you'll see it's gone back to where it thought that registration mark is, but it's not there. So all we have to do, use my arrow keys again and find that first mark. So it's not really important that you get it in the same place, it just helps the workflow. And now it's cutting the last one, and you'll see that we've got no warning on there, no message on there now. So that's cutting 3 consecutive copies. Now the next thing I would like to do is cut 3 copies at the same time. So I'm going to get some more copies here. Now all I've got to make sure is obviously they're the right way round, and I'm just going to space them right next to each other like that. So now I've got 3 to cut at the same time. All I'm going to do is go to output to device again. Now in my settings, I've still got number of copy of 3, but this time they're all on the bed at the same time. So if I go number of copies of 3, and I go in 3 in the Y direction, which is that way across, that means that it's going to know that there's 3 at a time. Now what you can also do though is you could put 6, but put 3 in the Y direction, and then it will do 3, then it will ask you to reload another 3, and it will keep going like that. Now you can then put in a distance between those copies. So I could, if I wanted to, measure this distance here, and then I could input that so it knows how far away the next one is. But what I can also do is I can wait for it to ask me when it's setting them up, and it will do that automatically. So I'm happy that they're all now set up. I'm going to press output. So again, because it's just cut 1, it should fire somewhere near to the front. There you go. It's found the first registration mark. So now what it's going to do is it's going to go straight to the next job, and then to the next job, and it's going to find our reg marks for us automatically. Now if there was a bigger gap between them and it couldn't find the next registration mark, again it will ask you on screen to find that reg mark. Now it's going to cut the rest of the jobs, but it's going to treat it now as basically one job, and it's just going to go from that one straight onto that one, straight onto that one. There you go, now it's on the second page. And there you go, so there's 3 copies cut at the same time using our registration marks. So that's how we do cutting using registration marks on our JWEI JCut Cutter.